Hi there, Mr. Condell. Um, oh boy. I'm I'm gonna just ask you from one human being to another to to try to just sort of step back for a minute and listen to the rhetoric of your videos vis-a-vis Islam, and just try to think about the broader implications that your language could have in the world. Um, there is no doubt. There is no doubt among any rational, reasonable human beings that there are a lot. There are a number of Muslims in the world who are irrational, cruel, anti-Semitic, opposed to anyone unlike them. But the same could be said of the area I'm in terms of like the people around where I've grown up. I mean, they're very xenophobic and very closed to outsiders. But there's a bit of a difference between a handful of people who might be behave violently or who might be trying to incite violence, and then a large majority that is perhaps recalcitrant in its nature and maybe backward to some degree, but not violent, not mean-natured, and not aggressive. And my concern is for the latter. No doubt there are enlightened Muslims who are perfectly reasonable, who think, about things that, in a more enlightened and modern fashion. But even the ones that are perhaps a bit fundamentalist they're not necessarily bad people. And to continually whip up anti-Muslim attitudes towards the group as a whole um, is not enlightened, is not reasonable, is shows a lack of equanimity on your part and a lack of concern with regard to the historical context in which um, baiting the majority against a ethnic minority in your country, what that can do, what that can lead to. And unless you are so concerned with hunting out the tiny number of people who are willing to behave criminally and negligently in our society who are Muslims, if you're willing to hunt them down, even if it costs the livelihood and the lives of many other innocent Muslims in your community and around the world, um, I would ask you to reconsider that as an important factor in how you approach this. You are terrifying, and you are less and less sounding like a man of reason and good sense, and more like a monster. The Bible, which you and I both apparently disregard as any kind of inspired word, says something that I think is appropriate in this instance. And it says simply this: be angry and sin not. Peace.